Right now at 5, Madeline Kingsbury's family testify in day 9 of the Adam Fravel trial.
And a teenager will have his first court appearance for the death of Lily Peters.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 5. I'm Ken Kozorowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. A dramatic day in the Adam Fravel trial. The parents of Madeline Kingsbury taking the stand in the 9th day of testimony.
News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall is live in Mankato outside the courthouse. Jeremy.
Well, Ken, today was the first time the Kingsburys were in the courtroom. It's also the first time jurors are hearing from them. Her mother, Krista, testified she saw changes in her daughter's relationship. She said Madeline expressed concerns about the lack of help she received with child care after their children were born. She also testified the couple's relationship was unstable with multiple separations, and they had planned to end it permanently just 1 week before Madeline went missing. Her assistant, Megan Hancock, also testified that there was a lot of dissatisfaction in the relationship. She says Kingsbury texted her about Adam choking her and encouraged her not to return to their home during dinner that night. Hancock also testified not seeing any bruises on her. Coming up at 6, you'll hear from her father, David Kingsbury, about what she wanted to do before she vanished. For now, reporting in Mankato, Jeremy Wall, News 8 Now.
Okay, thank you, Jeremy. It's 32 years for the man convicted in a drive-by shooting in La Crosse. DeAndrew Grant was sentenced today. The shooting happened on 3rd Street last June. Police say Grant opened fire on a group of people after an altercation. 6 people were hurt. Grant was facing 29 felonies before reaching a plea deal in September.
An arraignment is set for the teen accused of killing 10-year-old Lily Peters. The defendant, who has not been publicly identified, will be arraigned in Chippewa County Court December 16th. The now 16-year-old boy faces first-degree intentional homicide, first-degree sexual assault, and first-degree child sexual assault. The Wisconsin Court of Appeals ruled back in September that the case will be tried in adult court. A multi-vehicle crash on Highway 12 is still being investigated.
Altoona police responded to it. 7 people were hurt. It happened yesterday near Highway 53. Officers say a semi heading north lost control on the exit ramp, hitting 2 vehicles. The highway was closed for hours.
Quite a warm and windy conditions that we had today. We still got the wind advisor going across to eastern Iowa and southwest Wisconsin too, with winds throughout about 10 p.m. gusting to 45 south out of the south, indicating that we did have warm temperatures today. We broke records at La Crosse, 82. The old record was 81, and Eau Claire got all the way up to 81, about 4 degrees warmer than the record high. Overall this evening, it's going to be a warm and kind of breezy, windy conditions, back to the 70s in both locations. Cloud cover increasing, but high cloud cover, so not expecting any rainfall. The same story for La Crosse too. The winds will continue and actually increase a little bit throughout the evening, so that'll be the main factor for this evening, is that wind that'll be out there. Otherwise, cloud cover is starting to increase, but it's just high clouds. It'll take a long time till we start to see precipitation with this system, so overall temperature still in the upper 70s, 80s. Now overnight lows, unbelievable overnight lows, you wanted to ask me. We're looking at just upper 60s to 70s. Now take a look at that, because that might be your high coming tomorrow, because we got some falling temperatures and quite a bit of rain coming. So we'll kind of time out that rain, show you how much we'll get and what the temperatures actually will look like going into Thursday, because it's going to be a pretty big drop coming.
Quite a change.
Yes, it is.
All right. Thank you, Greg.
The iconic New Glarus Brewing Company is expanding. Owners broke ground today on a $55 million expansion plan. The added space will include new brewing, distilling, and retail spaces. There will also be more parking. The project also includes eco-friendly features like grass roofs.
It's a history. I think it's become part of the community. They've made sure that they've done things with a lot of heart, with a lot of intention. I think we've become part of the fabric of Wisconsin, and they've created something really special that I think will stand the test of time.
And construction wraps up in the fall of 2026.
A nonprofit hosted its annual appreciation lunch today. The La Crosse Area Development Corporation's event celebrates local businesses. More than 170 businesses and community leaders were in attendance. Mayo Clinic Health System is the recipient of this year's Diamond Recognition Award for their positive impact on the community. United States para-archer Lucas Harrow was this year's keynote speaker. His message, the mind is often the biggest disability.
Don't put constraints on yourself. Anything that you believe you can do with enough hard work, effort, and patience is attainable. I never thought I'd be doing what I'm doing. I didn't have that mindset 11 years ago, but I sure do now.
As our sports department has reported, Harrell was paralyzed from the waist down after a diving accident in 2013. He hopes to participate in the 2028 Paralympics. Congressman Mark Pocan joined former Republican Congressman Reed Ribble today to discuss the Democracy First Pledge. It's a vow to accept the election results next week, regardless of the outcome. They made the pledge to show that American democracy relies on faith in the system. Ribble says that a lot of poll workers are trustworthy community volunteers and possibly one's neighbors.
I've always said during this election cycle, because there's been so much misinformation and disinformation about Wisconsin elections. And I get it. Listen, if you don't trust politicians, that's fine. You probably shouldn't trust all politicians. But at the end of the day, you can trust your neighbors.
And you can find a link to the pledge and petition on our digital platforms.
1 week until Election Day,
where the candidates will spend their final campaigning days when we return.
Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Man, we didn't see a deer out there.
It's the wolves. You gotta do something about it.
If Hovde gets elected, he'll fight to delist them. Baldwin's done nothing.
She's a piece of work. She's trying to take away guns.
That's messed up.
And don't get me started on her spending. No wonder why prices are through the roof. I like Hovde. He'll protect our rights and actually clean up Washington.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
Seriously, that's messed up.
I've been with U.S. Cellular for 27 years. They've always taken care of me. But when they asked me to talk to you about their special customer event, Us Days, I said, I gotta get in shape. So they sent me this Hollywood trainer. Oh, this guy's no joke. Us Days means exclusive deals just for us customers.
Now let's try burpees.
Us Days is back at U.S. Cellular. Current customers get $1,200 off any phone, plus $400 off any tablet.
Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Kamala wouldn't change a thing? Their weakness invited wars, welfare for illegals, while Americans struggle. Now Kamala wants higher taxes on top of higher prices. We can't afford 4 more years of Kamala.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Vice President Kamala Harris is preparing to give a speech on the National Mall in the same spot where former President Donald Trump delivered one of his final speeches as president on January 6th.
Natalie Brand has more details from Washington.
Vice President Kamala Harris is preparing to make her closing argument to voters from the Ellipse outside the White House. It's expected to be one of her largest rallies with more than 20,000 people on hand.
This is, historical. I'm just so excited.
This is a change. We don't want to go back to what America was under Trump.
Her campaign says the vice president will deliver an optimistic vision, making the case America is ready to, quote, turn the page on the Trump era. It's a message that's resonating with her supporters.
We have to get together and become one America again.
Harris chose the ellipse because from it you can see the White House, where the next president will serve, but also because it's where former President Donald Trump delivered his speech on January 6, 2021. Trump, speaking from Mar-a-Lago, accused Harris of trying to divide the country.
And my message is about saving our economy, securing our border, bringing together the greatest and broadest coalition in American history.
And he's raising questions about election security in Pennsylvania, posting that there are fraudulent voter registration forms in York County and 2,600 fake ballots in Lancaster County. Officials in both counties say they are working to ensure the safety and validity of the vote.
There are some bad spots in Pennsylvania where some serious things have been caught or in the process of being caught, but the election itself is going very well.
Trump has two events in battleground Pennsylvania Tuesday, ending with an evening rally in Allentown. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Harris is headed for Pennsylvania tomorrow for a rally in Harrisburg. It's part of a three-state tour that includes Raleigh, North Carolina, and Madison, Wisconsin. Trump will also be in Wisconsin tomorrow, headed to Green Bay.
Refund rules for U.S. airlines have changed.
More on the updated refund policy after the break.
And something we haven't seen in quite a while, a really wet and windy period coming up for your forecast. We'll time out when the precipitation starts, how much, and what the temperatures look like going into Thursday. That all coming up on your First One Weather Update after the break.
Life's busy. Off is not an option. You need to be on time, on the go, on the call, or just ready to play on. Life's waiting. Power on with Batteries Plus. Visit one of over 700 locations today.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and like most folks in Wisconsin, I'm somewhere in the middle.
Oh, please. Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. She made her living trying to elect Democrat extremists. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. No wonder extremists like AOC are spending big bucks to elect liberals like Cook. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
Lane's Farm and Fleet's Fall Workwear event is going on now. We've got unbeatable deals on quality boots and apparel to help your hard-earned dollars go further. Like men's Wrangler, cargo, and work pants, half price, just $27.49 while supplies last. All Wolverine and Cat work boots are on sale, 20% off. And get $30 in Carhartt bucks for every $125 you spend on Carhartt gear.
The hardest working people in America find value at Lane's Farm and Fleet.
They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. Why hasn't she done it?
For years, radical Kamala Harris created the border crisis. Thousands of accused murderers, rapists, even terrorists pour in. Each crime they commit makes American victims. Innocent victims of Kamala's open border agenda. They were bludgeoned, raped, strangled, stabbed, shot, and murdered. Kamala created the border crisis. She won't fix it now. Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Batteries Plus has the national scale for all your power needs and a dedicated expert for the local support you want. Power on with Batteries Plus Business.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
The refund rules for U.S. airlines have changed.
A new federal rule is now in effect. Airlines must refund passengers for a significantly delayed or canceled flight. Flyers used to get just vouchers. The change comes right before the busy holiday travel season.
Well, change is also on the way for us weather-wise. It's going to get rainy. It's going to be gusty as well. Let's get all the details from Chief Meteorologist Greg Barnhart.
Yeah, it's going to be a good old October storm, or that we haven't seen all of October, where we definitely get a period of wet conditions, chilly conditions on the back end, and even get a little mix of snow for some areas. So this is going to be more of a typical October system that we've had. We just haven't had a lot of rain. The good news is your Wednesday morning commute should be affected. It's going to be windy and still very warm as you wake up. Upper 60s to mid 70s depending on where you are. That's about 15 degrees above our daytime high should be, so gives you indication. Showers and thunderstorms look to really develop in the afternoon hour. We may see a few showers late morning, but I think the bulk of the activity will be in the afternoon. That means your evening commute and Wednesday evening is going to be very, very wet. And we can see light to moderate rainfall, thunderstorms going on at that same time. And still, the windy conditions, at least starting the day, we might have a little bit of a brief as the winds begin to turn around Wednesday evening. They won't be as strong going into Wednesday night. Really, as you wake up, it's going to be increasing cloud cover. That south wind will be continuing to go up. Look at these temperatures, 70s. We'll start off, cloud cover will continue. And then as we get closer to the mid-hour, you'll start seeing the showers expand a little bit, and it's really probably in the afternoon hour, about 2 to 3, you'll start seeing this area develop just to the south and west. We'll start seeing showers and some thunderstorms develop and expand across the area. So by the time you go home, that is when it's really going to be the wet conditions will continue as we go on. And my clicker is stuck, it looks like. There we go. Kind of got stuck there. Anyway, by 5 p.m., you got a lot of activity. Showers and thunderstorms potentially for some moderate, even heavy rainfall embedded in this. The winds will begin to turn around a little bit, and then we'll continue to see this area just expand across the area. Now, as you go further south and west, east, it may take a little bit longer to get to like Richland County and further east, but overall it should be wet, and this will continue all the way to about 10 to 11 p.m., and then we might see a little bit of a reprieve for areas north and west of Eau Claire, maybe more light precipitation overnight, or it might stop overall a little bit, kind of as we got some drier air that works in. If you look at the bigger picture coming on here, here's this drier air that starts coming in, so precipitation may take a little bit of a break late Wednesday night into Thursday morning, but then as that break comes through, we're going to see the back edge of this precipitation come on the low. That'll continue with shower activity. And by the time we get to 11 noon in the afternoon of Thursday, it may cool enough that you're going to start seeing some snow mixing in for areas north and west of the area. We're talking like Rice Lake to the Twin Cities. That could actually provide a little bit of a mix for like Rusk County, maybe north of Eau Claire as we go into Thursday afternoon and evening. It shouldn't amount to too much. It'll be probably grassy areas if we get anything, but everyone else will start clearing out as we go through Thursday night. Now, rainfall amounts, definitely this could change, but everyone's looking at a good 1 inch to 1.5. There will be areas that get 2 to 3 depending on if we get the thunderstorms and how this band sets up. If it sets up right over one area, you could pick up 2 to 3 going all the way to Thursday afternoon. Temperature-wise, here's your temperatures. They're going to just fall throughout Wednesday, not rise. By the time we get to the afternoon hour, we're in the 60s. Going into Thursday morning, you're in the 50s, but by Thursday afternoon, we're looking at temperatures getting into the 40s to even 30s. So that's why that snow could mix in a little bit going on. So it's going to be a reverse of temperatures. We're not going to see the highs. They'll be in the morning. And winds really are going to be quite strong tonight through early tomorrow. Then they'll kind of taper off going into Wednesday night and then churn around as we go into Thursday, but they'll be coming out of the northwest Wednesday night into Thursday morning. There they come around. You'll start seeing them strong and gusty going Thursday afternoon, that northwest wind ushering in that cooler air. So it's going to be quite an interesting next probably 48 hours with the precipitation going on. Then as we go into Friday, the good news is it's actually going to dry out temporarily Friday, and then we got more systems coming through to the end of the weekend through early next week, and more to come on that. But really get ready. Hopefully you cleared out all the leaves from the gutters and everything else, because it's going to be quite a lot of rain coming through the area.
Yeah, sure looks like it.
Yep.
All right, Greg, thanks very much. A spooky discovery at an old Tudor house.
More on the found witches' marks and a curse on the former owner after the break.
Surgeons are warning of a critical but often overlooked issue, breast cancer in men. Tomorrow on News 8 Now This Morning, we'll take a look at what men need to know.
Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows, installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
25 years as a police officer, I'm trained to spot a lie when I see one.
Take it from me, these ads against Rebecca Cook are false.
They're not worth the special interest dollars that are funding them.
Rebecca's one of us.
She comes from a family of first responders and veterans.
She's a strong supporter of more funding for law enforcement.
She'd never defund the police.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message because I'll always put safety first.
And Derek Van Orden just puts himself first.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Eric Hovde owns a $3 billion California bank. That's right, he owns it.
And a $7 million mansion on the beach.
Eric Hovde proposed $4 trillion in new tax breaks for rich guys just like him.
And to pay for it, Hovde would cut Social Security by 28%.
Slash Medicare 25%.
And veterans benefits 40%.
Outrageous. Now we know what's wrong with Eric Hovde. This guy is not for us.
This illegal immigrant was recently arrested in southwestern Wisconsin for a sexually violent attack on a woman, a suspected Venezuelan gang member who entered the U.S. just last year. Unfortunately, Steve Doyle supports sanctuary cities that protect criminals like this, and Doyle opposed sending resources to secure the border to keep dangerous criminals like Alejandro Jose Coronel Zarate away from our families. Steve Doyle's failures are destroying Wisconsin lives. Steve Doyle, unwilling to secure the border, unfit to serve.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor. And the potential to take you anywhere.
Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado. Visit HometownChevy.com.
Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Now, expect more.
Just ahead of Halloween, a spooky discovery at an old Tudor house.
Yeah, an array of carvings called witches' marks were found on the walls of Gainsborough Old Hall in Lincolnshire. The marks, dating back to the year 1596, are believed to be a ritual aimed to fend off evil spirits and witches. They believe a curse was put on the former owner, whose name was found written upside down. Experts say similar signs were scribed into churches, homes, and caves to ward off sickness, death, or poor harvests. It reminds me of the Blair Witch Project. No, thank you.
Yeah. I'll watch a scary show every now and again, but anything that's like real. I got a buddy who like spends nights in haunted places and like puts them on YouTube. I'm not going to say he's crazy, but it's just not something I would do.
No, neither would I. On board with that with you. Okay. All right, we'll have another look at tonight's forecast right after the break.
I've been with U.S. Cellular for 27 years. When they asked me to talk to you about their special customer event, Us Days, I said, I gotta get in shape. Us Days means exclusive deals just for us customers.
Us Days is back at U.S. Cellular.
I have had the privilege of working with an exceptional team to install over 12,000 home improvements for local homeowners in the last 35 years. Now it's time for me to spend a little more time with my bride of over 50 years. Fortunately, I found an experienced remodeling contractor and corporate project manager to lead the board store into the future.
And with an outstanding team by my side, I am proud to lead this amazing company my dad has built. And we look forward to continuing to serve you with the great value that is the board store trademark.
Politics these days stinks. Too much hot air, and you know what else. But I'm no stranger to putting in a hard day's work and getting the job done. I have a history of bipartisan accomplishments. It's a hard job, but I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. I can reach across the aisle and pass good bills just as easily as I can walk across the barnyard with my shovel. So whether it's doing chores on the farm or passing bills in Madison, I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm ready to get back to work for you.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and like most folks in Wisconsin, I'm somewhere in the middle.
Oh, please. Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. She made her living trying to elect Democrat extremists. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. No wonder extremists like AOC are spending big bucks to elect liberals like Cook. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
So many of you have told me about your plans for the future, but prices are too high. So here's what we're going to do about it. I will take on price gouging. I will lower the cost of health care insurance. Donald Trump, well, he wants to give more tax breaks to the wealthy. I will cut taxes for the middle class instead. You may not always agree with me, but I promise I will do everything I can to lift up the middle class and be a president for all Americans. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
Look, here's a phone company who wants us to use our phones less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
It's a free ride.
But I already paid.
All right, should start off dry tomorrow. We're not looking at any rain chances in the morning, but it's going to be warm. Upper 60s, low 70s to start off the day with the wind. And then we're going to start seeing the precipitation start ramping up towards the noon hour, but it's really in the afternoon where it's going to get wet, showers, thunderstorms. Could be a very wet evening commute. And then the rain chances continue. Wednesday night and Thursday may not quite as much, but then the temperatures continue to fall throughout the period. So by the time you get to about Thursday at noon, we'll be in the 40s, upper 30s. So it's really going to turn quite like it should be for the fall, and more rain coming potentially the weekend as we turn the clocks back this time.
It actually looks like a very appropriate Halloween forecast for Thursday.
It definitely
Rainy,
does.
windy, spooky, right?
Thanks for joining us.